Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. Hope you're all having a good day and a good night or good afternoon, wherever you are. Um, Today is a very special day. It is it is it is one of those annual events that highly anticipated, uh, and it's the Golden Pretzel Award Show. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because my wife bought me a pretzel. And so during this episode, I'm going to be eating my pretzel. And mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's a $7 pretzel, you guys. You see the buy me a coffee? You can also buy me a pretzel. Very flexible. Um, yeah, so today is today is the annual Golden Pretzel Award show. To tell the truth, I haven't really done a Golden Pretzel Award show for many years. Um, I kind of I did one for about 2 years, and then I didn't do it just because of the amount of coordination and inculcation. If we could just go ahead and say it the way it is, of intervening prospects that you need to consider in order to present this enormous project. And bring back the watermelon too. I have a funny story about that, but we'll do it another night. So I'll do it the next time we bring a watermelon. Yes. But anyway, yes, I was single the last time, but it was my wife actually today, and we both have pretzels today, you guys. She got one and I got one. So that's $14 worth of pretzel. So for the Golden Pretzel Award Show. And so the Golden Pretzel Award Show is an annual event. It's similar to the Golden Globes, similar to the Emmys or the Grammys or the Oscars but this was specifically for Islamic dawah and Islamic teaching. And so the ones who twist the truth into such a pretzel, um, they are the ones who get the award. And so it is highly coveted. It's a highly coveted award. And, and people, do they get mad? Sure, they get mad, because they think, wait a minute, hey, I deserve the gold. But we will be giving a bronze pretzel award. We're going to give a silver pretzel award, and we're going to give the golden pretzel award for the uh, greatest twisting videos of the year. And so just to, and I know you guys are very much wanting to know some of the previous winners. And so I'm going to go ahead and play for you the first winner, the winner of the first, like when you watch the Oscars, they'll show you that Betty Davis and, Gary Cooper, Vivian Leigh, and all these previous Charlton Heston, previous Oscar winners. And so I just want to show you some of the previous Golden Pretzel Award winners. And so our very first Golden Pretzel Award winner was this guy, and I will translate it for you. It's in Arabic, but I will translate it for you.
أنا كنت أنت الرقيب عليهم.
ما في مشكلة. إيه المشكلة؟ وسيدنا عيسى سيموت إذا نزل من السماء، سيمضي مدة في الدنيا ويموت. يعني وما جعلنا لبشر من قبلك الخلد. أما إذا كنت تقصدين هل مات عيسى ثم رفع، لا، الوفاة أحيانا تطلق على النوم. ففي الآية إني منيمك ورافعك إلي، إني متوفيك بمعنى منيمك. الله يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها والتي لم تمت في منامها، أي يتوفاها في منامها. ونحن نقول عند الاستيقاظ الحمد لله الذي أحيانا بعد ما أماتنا وإليه النشور. وكان عيسى عليه.
Okay, so the reason this guy got the Golden Pretzel, the first annual Golden Pretzel Award, was what he says. You know, there's the verse that I always use when I witness to Muslims, Inni mutawaffiku rafa'aka ilayya, where Allah says to Jesus, I made you to die and raised you up to myself. That's what the Arabic says. Allah says to Jesus, Inni mutawaffik, I made you to die and raised you up to myself. Muslims, of course, have caught on to the fact that they have a big headache, a big problem with this verse, because this verse is saying that Jesus died, and Muslims don't believe Jesus died. They believe he was just zapped up into heaven and somebody else made to look like him, and that other person was crucified. A crazy story that causes truckloads of confusion, because nobody knows who was crucified. They don't know, how long he died. Don't know if he died. Don't know if and some say it was Isa who was crucified, because there's so many different sects of Islam. There's the Sunni, there's the Shiite, there's the Ahmadi, there's the Nation of Islam. There's all of these guys say they're Muslims, and I know a lot of Muslims want to say no, they don't. That these guys aren't real Muslims or whatever. But they all say that about each other. But they all claim to be Muslim. And the Ahmadis believe Jesus was crucified, even though the Quran says he wasn't. But but that he didn't die. So it's kind of, they just take a sloppy European myth that was that they came up with in Germany about a few hundred years ago, called the swoon theory. It's a crazy theory that Jesus was that he didn't die, and then he was in the grave, and when he smelled the all the spices and stuff, that he comes back to life, and then he gets up and is crucified with the spear marks, with the all the blood and everything. Gets up, moves the rock, goes out. It's an insane theory. So anyway, so there are the Ahmadi Muslims actually believe that crazy theory. But anyway, but this guy, okay, what he says is that mutawaffiq, which means in Arabic, I made you to die. He says that this means I put you to sleep. So he changes the word mutawaffiq, which is in the Quran, to munimuka, I made you to sleep. Or Isa, I made you to sleep and raised you up to myself. But in order to do that, he had to change the Quran, because the Quran doesn't say munimuka. The Quran says mutawaffiq. So anyway, that's why he won the first annual Golden Pretzel Award. Okay, and then another contestant in another year of the Golden Pretzel Award was this guy.
بما أنه عيسى ما مات إلى الآن، إيش يعني متوفيك؟ العلماء بعضهم قال الآية فيها يعني الأسلوب الخطاب الكلام هذا فيه مقدم ومؤخر، يعني إني رافعك إلي ومتوفيك بعد ذلك.
Sorry, guy. Told you I'm going to be eating the pretzel. So what this guy is saying. Sorry, guys. I thought that video was going to be longer. Let me play another one for you real quick.
قال آخرون، وهذا قول الجمهور، إن الآية فيها تقديم وتأخير. ما معنى إن الآية فيها تقديم وتأخير؟ قالوا معنى الآية إني رافعك إلي ومتوفيك، بمعنى أنه سيرفع، أنه رفع وسينزل ثم يتوفى، أي تقبض روحه. وهؤلاء يقول هذا الكلمة، الطريقة، الأسلوب له نظير في كلام العرب. الله عز وجل قال ولولا كلمة سبقت من ربك لكان لزاما وأجل مسمى. قالوا معنى الكلام ولولا كلمة سبقت وأجل مسمى لكان لزاما، فقوله جل وعلا وأجل مسمى جاء بعد كلمة لكان لزاما في الترتيب في التلاوة، والمعنى ولولا كلمة سبقت من ربك وأجل مسمى لكان لزاما.
وجه آخر أنه مسألة متوفيك أي مميتك، لكن متى تكون المسألة هنا بقى في الواو والعطف، إني متوفيك ورافعك، فالواو لا تقتضي الترتيب ولا تنافي إلا بقرينة. فهنا زي ما نقول جاء أحمد وعلي، ليس معنى ذلك أن علي يأتي بعد أحمد، وإنما إن لا تقتضي الترتيب ولا تنافي، ليس كسم أو الفاء لو قلت جاء أحمد ثم علي
فيها ترتيب.
أيوة فيها ترتيب. فاللي هنا الواو عند أهل التفسير وعند الأصوليين لا تقتضي الترتيب، فيكون الوفاء.
That last guy was the winner of the second annual Golden Pretzel Award. And that last guy, because what he says, you know, where the verse says, Allah says, "Oh Jesus, I made you to die and raised you up to myself." What this last guy says is that what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to turn them around. You're supposed to reverse the sequence. You know, it's a sequential miracle of the Quran where you just you turn the sequence. Instead of, "Oh Jesus, I made you to die and raised you up to myself," what Allah meant was, "Oh Jesus, I raised you up to myself and will make you to die," which is what Muslims believe, you know. But you know, they're changing the Quran, and it's so funny because it goes exactly against the Quran verse that says about the unbelievers that they, in Arabic, says غَيِّرُوا الْكَلَامَ عَنْ مَوَادِعْهَا. They change the words from their positions, and this is exactly what this guy is doing. And the first guy, what he was just changing the words completely. He took, instead of "I made you to die," he changed it to "I made you to sleep." And so he changed the word completely. This guy is just changing the order of the words from "I made you to die and raised you up to myself" to "I raised you up to myself and made you to die." Well, you know, the Quran condemns that. It condemns Christians and Jews for doing that, and yet that's exactly what they're doing. They're changing the sequence, and I love the way he justifies it. He justifies it by saying, if I say Ahmed and Ali came to my house, that doesn't mean that Ahmed came in first. It could be that Ali came in first. And so it's the same as saying Ali and Ahmed came to my house. And so when I say Ahmed and Ali came to my house, you know, Ali may have come in first and then Ahmed. So the sequence is insignificant. And so anyway, for that, he got the second annual Golden Pretzel Award. Okay. And so let me see. There was also another, there was also this. This one is in English. Let me see. This is when, for this one, it was the next, I believe this was a silver Pretzel Award for Sheikh Awesome.
Atib says about the beating of a wife, and he quoted a hadith and the verse of the Quran, etc. Akhi, the general trend is that Allah ordered men to be kind to their wives. Allah says in the Quran, وَعَاشِرُوهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. You have to live with them in what is normal, what is kind, what is well known to people, to be accepted. You have a mother, you have a wife, you have a daughter, you have a sister, and you don't like people to deal with them harshly or in a violent way. So this is the general trend. However, what goes behind closed doors is something that only the man and his wife are capable of handling. There should be no outside interference, because whenever there is interference from the families, things go south. Also, the Prophet ﷺ told the companions that a lot of women visited my wives and complained to them of their husbands beating them. By Allah, they are not from among the best of you. Meaning these men who beat their wives are not among the righteous, the pious, those who are God-fearing. And this is a strong warning from the Prophet ﷺ. Now, when we judge things, we don't as Muslims refer to the United Nations. We don't refer to the Geneva Convention. We don't refer to man-made laws made by the disbelievers and the kafirs. We refer to the Quran and the Sunnah. So if you go to verse 34, chapter 4, I'm giving you the reference. وَاللَّاتِ تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنْ. Those whom you fear their disobedience, their rebellion. What to do with them, the women? Then you should advise them. You should give them counseling. You should remind them of Allah, of how bad this is, how sinful it is, and that they are doing something that Allah does not love. فَعِظُوهُنَّ. If this doesn't work, وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. Then you have to abandon them, but this is only in regards of intimacy. So you sleep with her on the same bed, but you don't have any intimacy. You don't hug her, you don't kiss her, you don't have any hanky-panky. And this goes on like the issue of advising her for a while, not for a day or two, or for a moment or two, maybe for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks of advising, didn't work, then abandon being intimate with her for 3-4 weeks. This doesn't work, then the last and third and final resort is to beat them. So Allah doesn't say bring a baseball bat to beat them up with it. Ibn Abbas, when who is one of the great interpreters of the Quran, was asked how to beat them, he said, with this. You see this twig? If I beat myself with it, I'm not going to be affected. He said, you beat them without breaking a bone, shedding blood, leaving a mark, and avoid the face. What kind of beating is this, my friend? Well, this kind of beating is not meant to be physical. It is meant to be sentimental, something that would hurt her, to open her eyes, to see how disobedient she is and how bad as a wife she is. After all the love, my husband is beating me with a twig. So this kind of beating is a form of reprimand, not slapping her on the face, not slapping her on the shoulder and leaving marks of your fingers on. This is not permissible. It should not leave a mark on the body. It should not shed blood. It's only to reprimand, and this is for the purpose of getting things back to normal rather than divorce, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.
A sentimental beating. I'm gonna take a sentimental beating. Sentimental beating. Yo boy, yeah. Yo boy, yeah. What the heck does that mean? A sentimental beating? Oh my goodness. Of course, Zakir Naik, by the way, the year that this guy got, I think he got the silver pretzel for this video, the biggest twisting of logic. And but I think that Zakir Naik got the gold this year, and it was for because Zakir Naik called it a symbolic beating. It's a symbolic beating, you know. So there's a sentimental beating, and there's also the symbolic beating, and that's what Muhammad twists people's minds, twist pretzels into. So this was the previous year. He got like I think it was a silver pretzel for that. Just so anyway, so so this year we're ready now to actually start the uh, this year's. Let me see if there's. Let me just really quickly see if there's any other previous year videos that I would like to share with you, just because there have been many. There are some that I really would like to show you. Now, a lot of them are Arabic, um, but they really are worthy of. Oh, okay. This was. Let me see. Is this one of the three for this year? Okay, this is actually one of the three for this year. So before I show you one of the three for this year, I want to show you one of my favorite videos, one of my favorite Christian videos. Okay, so well, this is going to be the number three most um, you know what? Let me just show you another one of the previous years. Now this was a previous year video, and this was actually from God Logic's channel, but it was really worthy.
Of all of the Messiah. All of the prophets are called Messiah. Here, Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, volume number 6, page number 479. I just brought you evidence with volume, with page number, for the sanad that shows that all of the earlier prophets, Sharia was called Messiah. No.
Okay, so this is where the Uthman, who is an upstanding individual, who married his, I'm not sure if he married her, but you know, the situation with his friend's wife. And it's all halal though, very halal things that he did with his friend's wife. You know what? I'm not even sure it's halal, the stuff he did with his friend's wife. I'm not sure if it's halal because I think she was still married. So, you know, he helped them, he got them married, and then she went to his mother's house, and then there was the situation with his own wife with the domestic abuse. And so anyway, but that's Masah, and it was a footnote. It was a footnote in one of the commentaries about, and he said that this was the plural of Messiah, saying that there's many messiahs, and so Masah, Imsah, and so anyway, that was a controversy that was a few years ago, and so that video was on the was one of the previous year's pretzels. Let me just make sure here that I haven't missed anything here on previous year pretzel shows. Just take me a second here. You know, before I go, I think it's very important to show you this. You know, the first year of my marriage, Ida and me both got, my wife and me both got COVID at the same time. And so we made this song for Christmas. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Omicron Christmas. Omicron Christmas. And what have we done? We're donning our masks again, like it's 2021. The nasal inhalers and cough medicine. Fauci's retired. His nightmare lives on. Still a Merry Christmas.
Sorry, that doesn't work too good, but this works good.
I can't.
Good. So that's my wife was playing the love story theme. Okay. So anyway, let's get back to our Golden Pretzel Award show. Okay, I don't know if you guys want to see. Oh, let me just show you.
And when Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Take heart, my son, your sins are forgiven." And behold, some of the scribes said to themselves, "This man is blaspheming." But Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, "Why do you think evil in your hearts? For which is easier, to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or..."
So anyway, you know that Jibril isn't going to come to this house, because we have a black dog. So yeah, we didn't. Sorry, guys. I know some of you guys are very, very anxious to know this year's Golden Pretzel Award. The German origin pretzel looks similar to the Indian sweet jalebis with the spiral shape. You know what? The Germans also, they took the swastika from it was from a Hindu, and so there's actually a connection between Germany and India. There's an Indo-European connection, and Hitler was always talking about, what was it, the people that he was talking about? That he said the Germans were descended from them. I can't remember what they were called, but they were originally from India. And so, anyway, yeah. So Aryans. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, the Aryans. So, okay, let's go see if let me just see if I have anything else here that I want to show you guys before we actually get into the Golden Award show for this year, the Golden Award prizes for this year. Let me see. Oops. Okay, موجود في فلسطين. Okay, I don't know if I should do this one, but this is kind of important. Let me just play it, okay?
هتوصل لإيه يا دكتور من إذا كان هناك تفتير؟
أقول لك أوصل لإيه؟ وهقول لك ليه أوصل له. هوصل إلى إنه العلماء بتوعنا الأوائل الواقدي والطبري وكتير منهم قالوا يا جماعة المسجد الأقصى، احنا مش عارفين إن سيدنا محمد بعد ما ضايقوه في قريش راح دعا في الطائف.
نعم.
وعلى طريق الطائف في مسجدين، مسجد اسمه المسجد الأدنى ومسجد اسمه المسجد الأقصى. فالآية في سورة الإسراء بتعبر عن حال النبي وهو بيفكر متحير زي إبراهيم كده، سيدنا إبراهيم لما قال رب.
Let me just tell you what this guy said. This guy says, because the belief is that the Al-Aqsa Mosque that Barak try to imagine this Burak flying from Saudi Arabia to Jerusalem with Muhammad on it. Like, well, according to this guy, there was an Al-Aqsa Mosque in Saudi Arabia, in Arabia, between Mecca and Medina, in a city called Ta'if. There were two mosques there, one Al-Adna, Al-Aqsa, the near one or the low one, and the far one. And so it wasn't in Jerusalem, because Jerusalem's never mentioned in the Quran. It was in Arabia, between Mecca and Medina. And so this guy, an Al-Azhar scholar, is saying, you know what? It's not in Jerusalem. We weren't in Jerusalem. Muhammad didn't go to Jerusalem. And so, it's great when they say it, when they say it. So, okay. And let me see here. Let me see if I got anything here I can show you. Some more. Okay, now I've shown this before, but I think this was in one of the Golden Pretzel Award show previously.
The question was, do Muslims also have different versions of the Quran? We have no different versions. So we have no different versions of the Quran. The Arabic Quran universally is the same. No difference between one part of the world and another.
Right. So just, if you guys remember this, in Egypt and in 97% of the world, you're going to get the Hafs version. In much of Western Africa, like Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, those areas, you're going to get the Warsh version. In Libya, you're going to get the Qalun version. In Sudan, you're going to get the Susi version. In Somalia, you're going to get the Dudi version. And so you get all of these differences just in Africa. And so anyway, and they're all different. Plus, we know about that there's over 37, and there's over 6 different Hafs versions. And so anyway, but that's a myth. It's a myth that every Muslim still believes. Every Muslim still believes there's only one Quran, and yet there's all these different Qurans, but there's only one. No matter what, there's only one Quran. No matter what you say, there's only one Quran. But there are these different versions, but no, there's only one version. So it's got them. That is really a major pretzel situation right there. So anyway, so that was one of the videos for a previous year's Golden Pretzel Award show. All right, now for this year. Okay, guys, the coveted Golden Pretzel Award that people, around the world are so eager every year to see who's going to win the Golden Pretzel Award. Okay, by the way, I finished the pretzel, so well, I think it was during Ahmed Didat's spiel there. So anyway, for this year, I'm saying that the bronze pretzel, okay, the bronze pretzel will go to, let me see if I can find it here real quickly. Okay. Okay, so the bronze pretzel this year, after much deep meditation, we decided to give the bronze award to our friend Zakir Naik.
knows Arabic. So wajada means, if you look up in the dictionary also, it means it appeared. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing what appeared to Zulkarnain.
He's talking about the setting of the sun in the muddy pool.
I make a statement that the student in the class said 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. And you say, oh, Zakir said 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. I didn't say. I'm telling the student in my class that 2 plus 2 is equal to 5.
Now, you guys, if your brain isn't twisted into a pretzel yet, I don't know what the 2 plus 2 equals 5 has to do with the sun setting in a muddy pool. But this is why Zakir Naik gets the bronze pretzel for this year.
I'm not wrong, the student is wrong. There are various ways to try and analyze this verse. One is this way, according to Muhammad Asad, that wajada means it appeared to Zulkarnain. Point number 2. The Arabic word used is maghrib. It can be used for time as well as place. When we say sunset, sunset can be taken for time. If I say the sun sets at 7 p.m., I'm using it for time. If I say the sun sets in the west, it means I'm taking it for place. So here, if you use the word maghrib for time, so Zulkarnain not reached that place of sunset, use it at time. He reached at the time of sunset. The problem is solved. Furthermore, you can solve it in various ways. Even if Dr. William Campbell says, no, the basic assumption is too much. It is not appeared to, it is actually this. Let's analyze it further. The Quranic verse says, the sun set in murky water. Now we know, when we use these words, like sunrise and sunset, does the sun rise? Scientifically, sun does not rise. Neither does the sun set. We know scientifically the sun does not set at all. It is the rotation of the earth which gives rise to sunrise and sunset. But yet, you read in the everyday papers mentioning sunrise at 6 a.m., sunset at 7 p.m. Oh, the newspapers are wrong, unscientific. Dr. William.
Okay, you know what? That did not actually have what I was looking for. Even though, I mean, it is this video, but let me show you this version of the video. Okay, let me show you this version of the video, because
the other points that William Campbell raised was regarding Surah Kahf, chapter number 18, verse number 86, that Zulkarnain sees the sun setting in murky water, in turbid water. Imagine sun setting in murky water, unscientific. The Arabic word used here is, it is wajada, meaning it appeared to Zulkarnain. And Dr. William Campbell knows Arabic. So wajada means, if you look up in the dictionary also, it means it appeared.
It appeared. Okay, this is the bronze pretzel goes to him for this Arabic lesson. In his Arabic lesson, there's 2 Arabic lies that he told, but this one is the big one, which is the word wajada. Wajada in Arabic, he says wajada, and you see he gets away with it because most people there don't speak Arabic, so they don't know what it means. And he says that the word wajada means it appears that the sun set in a muddy pool. It appears, but the word wajada does not mean appears. The word wajada means he found. It means he found the sun setting in a muddy pool. And so Dhul-Qarnayn is coming along, and he found this little pool, this little swimming pool, and it was muddy swimming pool, and he saw the sun setting in it, inside the pool. And if you look at the verse in the Arabic, the verse says, وَوُجِدْ نَاسْ عِنْدَهَا. He found qawman, a people living by that pool. And it's the same word, wajad, wujid. It's the same word saying that he found people near that pool, living near that area where the pool was, where the sun set, the muddy pool. And so the word is used twice in that verse, wajada and wujid. Okay, and I mean, it's the same root word, which is wajad, and it means to find, to find. And so 2 times it's used in the Quran. And in the same verse, it's used 2 times. It's used in the same verse 2 times. and both times it means to find. Okay, but Zakir Naik lies and says that wajada means it appears that it's set in a muddy pool. Well, that's a lie. That's not true. So Zakir Naik gets, yes, the very honorable, the highly coveted, oops, where is it? The highly coveted, shoot, where'd it go? Oh no, where did it go? Maybe, oh shoot. I want to give him the let me see. Okay, I'm going to do this. Oops. Okay. I'm going to give him give him the bronze pretzel. He gets the bronze pretzel for this year because of lying and twisting to make it seem like the Quran doesn't say that the sun sets in a muddy pool. The Quran does say that, and so for lying, he gets the bronze pretzel for twisting that he engages in. Okay, so the bronze pretzel goes to Zakir Naik. Okay, and then okay for the silver pretzel. Now the silver pretzel is going to go. Okay, let me okay. 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 The silver pretzel. You guys, I know you're just sitting at the edge of your seat. You can't wait to hear what the silver pretzel is. Okay, now the silver pretzel is going to be in English, and the silver pretzel will go to Muhammad Hijab for coming up with the fake video of his wife's voice. And so he made fake video. So
he is definitively stating that he made the video. There is no room for ambiguity. It is clear cut. Muhammad Hijab states that he made the video released on April 8th, a video that featured a cryptic AI narrator while referring to himself in third person so that he wouldn't have to deny the allegations and instead could lead the public down a path of deflection and diversion.
Okay, here is the part.
Confessing that she didn't actually marry Hijab.
So did you marry Hijab or not?
I didn't marry him, but if I told people this, they would think I'm crazy and so on.
Okay.
Do you think this is fair on him and his family?
With all due respect to yourself, I can take my rights with my own hand.
Let's be clear. The speaker's distinctive.
Okay, so Muhammad Hijab, the guy who does Behind Veils, put that recording into this app, and he even tells what it is. I should just let him say what it is.
Accent makes it immediately evident that it is. There is no ambiguity. We've run this audio through advanced software designed to detect AI-generated voices, and as clearly shown on the screen, this recording doesn't match any of the indicators.
First off, as someone who has spoken at great lengths with Sister Aisha, this sounds nothing like her. It is clearly a desperate attempt to try and deceive the public. But let's not take my word for it. Let's use the same AI detection tool they used to validate whether or not this was AI. Let's head over to 11 Labs, a website used to generate AI voices. Here, we'll go ahead and upload the extracted clip of what they claim is Sister Aisha's confession.
I didn't marry him, but if I told people this, they would think I'm crazy and so on. With all due respect to yourself, I can take my rights with my own hand.
Subhanallah. It states that there is a 98% probability that this audio was generated by 11 labs. I don't know how much sloppier Hijab and his incompetent deepfake team could get. Not only did they generate a voice clip that didn't sound like her, but they literally showed the world exactly where they did it.
So, okay, so that sloppy, sloppy attempt by whoever is defending Muhammad Hijab there gets the silver pretzel for the twisting and deception. And so, um, so yes, so that was for the silver pretzel award goes to Muhammad Hijab. Now, I don't know who's behind him or who's actually doing the video making and did the 11 labs and took her voice or took a voice and twisted it and made it into this other voice. And so I'll just go ahead and give the silver pretzel to Muhammad Hijab. So the first pretzel went, the bronze pretzel went to Zakir Naik for wajada, for lying about what it means to try to make, justify a Quran verse that makes no sense. The silver goes to Muhammad Hijab for his, for this deception. Okay. And now you guys, I know you guys are just sitting at the edge of your seat. You can't wait to find out what is the Golden Pretzel Award today. Well, you guys, this is it, okay? The Golden Pretzel will go to a person who is considered the Billy Graham. He's considered, you know what? Just before I do this, okay, before I do this, I want to some close runners up because there were some close runners up. So let me just see if I can get you one of the close runners up before I show you the actual victor and the actual Golden Pretzel Award show winner. Let me just show you. I just wanted to show you. Okay. Because this one came in really close. Let me see if I can, okay. It just take me a second, you guys, because I got to translate this into Arabic here. Hulman, oh shoot, what is the word? Khalidun. Khalidun. Okay, this is the video. This definitely deserves mention, and this is. Let me just show you this. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can. I just want to look at this real quickly. You guys know Rashid. This guy was on Rashid's program, and it was a. He says something that I think is very important. Okay. Let's see. This guy. This is a runner-up, like first runner-up for the Golden Pretzel Award. But let me just play this for you here, and I'll.
الولدان في الجنة خدم.
Okay, these now we're talking about the eternally fresh young boys in paradise that men are going to get. These boys are eternally young. They don't grow old. These boys remain boys forever and ever and ever. So
لا يأخذون رواتب.
they do not take wages, you guys. These لا يأخذوا رواتب. They don't get paid. You don't have to like do you don't have to do like a W-2 form or a 1099 or do some kind of contract, you know, for them to work for you. They don't take wages at all. They work for you for free. Okay? So
ولا يهربون.
And they don't run away. You know, like you've heard of runaway slaves. No, these boys don't run away. They don't run away. You don't have to pay them. They don't run away. Talking about the boys in paradise.
فتذهب للجوازات بلاغ هروب.
So they go to, you know, to get your wives without running away.
ولا ينامون.
And they don't sleep. These boys don't sleep. These boys are constantly working for you. And you get like 80,000 of these boys. They don't sleep. You don't have to pay them. They don't run away.
ولا يموتون.
And they don't die. They don't die.
ولا يبولون.
And they don't go to the bathroom. So they're not going to make a mess on your floor. They don't even pee. They don't even pee. So they're not going to stink up anything.
ولا يتغوطون. ولا يمرضون.
And they don't get sick. So you don't got to take them to the clinic or something like that. You don't got to like go to the pharmacy and get medicine for them. Okay? And
هم أعدوا لخدمتك.
They are promised and they are committed to serve you. These boys
في الجنة.
In paradise.
لا تصرف عليهم ريال واحد.
You don't have to spend one single dollar on these boys. You don't have to spend one single dollar.
ولا يحتاجون إلى مساكن.
You don't even gotta house them. They don't need houses. You don't gotta spend a single dollar on them. You don't gotta house them. Now we're talking about the 80,000 boys, you guys.
ليست لهم غرفة حارس أو غرفة خادمة.
They don't need to have a room. You know the way that in some houses they have like the servants' quarters or the security guard booth. You don't need it for that. They don't need it.
في جنة عرضها السماوات والأرض من كثرة الولدان فيها كأنهم لؤلؤا منثورا لا تعلم عددهم.
Because there's so many of these boys, they are like pearls. They're white like pearls. And there's so many of them you can't even count them. Dude, I'm almost wanting to throw up now, but okay. And he says something else, you guys. Let me see if I can find the other thing he said.
Here are 3 reasons your sales team.
He says something else that I thought was very interesting. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if he says it here. You know, because if you look in the Quran verse, actually, okay, let's see if this is the one.
قالوا الولدان المخلدون.
the eternally young boys.
هم من مات قبل بلوغ سن التكليف.
Some people say that these are boys who died before puberty.
من آباء وأمهات لم يؤمنوا لا
of who had parents who were not believers. And I'll tell you guys, some of the commentary said these are the children of Christians and Jews.
بالله ولا باليوم الآخر.
They didn't believe in Allah or the last day. Their parents didn't believe in Allah or the last day.
بل أعرضوا وأنكروا وجود الله.
And they opposed and denied the existence of God.
والإيمان به والإيمان بالدار الآخرة.
And they denied their belief in the last day.
أو أشركوا مع الله آلهة أخرى.
Or they believed in other gods along with Allah.
فأولادهم الذين ماتوا قبل سن التكليف.
So their children, again, this is the Jews and Christians, though he's not saying that. So their children who died before puberty,
يبعثهم الله.
Allah resurrects them.
ويجعلهم من أهل رحمته ومن
And he makes them of the people of his mercy.
أهل جنته ويجعلهم في خدمة أهل الجنة.
And he makes them for the service of the people of paradise.
من المؤمنين والمؤمنات. ثم انظر قول الله تعالى ويطوف عليهم.
And look at the amazing words of Allah about that, because the verse talks about that these boys are around, spinning around them.
ولدان مخلدون.
Eternally young boys.
أولا هؤلاء الولدان لا يموتون.
Okay, first of all, these young boys never die.
لأن الجنة والدار الآخرة لا موت فيها.
Because there's no death in the Jannah.
إنما الموت مرتبط بالحياة الدنيا فقط.
Death is only in this world.
أما الآخرة فهي دار الكرامة ودار الخلود الأبدي.
But Jannah is the house of eternity.
كذلك يبعثهم الله في سن واحدة.
And so Allah resurrects them all in the same age.
لا يزيدون عنه ولا ينقصون.
They will never get older than that. They'll never get younger than that. So they'll probably be like 10 years old, 11 years old.
عنه بل أعمارهم أعمار واحدة فهم في سن الشباب.
So they are in the age of young manhood.
فيهم القوة وفيهم نضارة الوجه.
So they have strength.
وفيهم القوة والقدرة على خدمة أهل.
And they have power. They have power and ability to be your slave.
أهل الجنة وعلى خدمة.
To serve the family, the men who are in Jannah.
من جعلهم الله في خدمتهم من المؤمنين والمؤمنات.
Okay. Now this guy says something else that's funny that I was kind of hoping we would hear, but I don't see it here. Well, I remember what he says. I could just tell you. He also says, you guys, because let's look at the Quran verse that talks about them. There's actually two places in the Quran that talks about them. One of them is Surah Al-Waqi'ah, and then there's another one, but this is the main one. And so these are runner-up, okay? These guys don't get the golden pretzel. No, please don't think this is golden pretzel territory. These guys are like, like when there's Miss America, and then Miss America gets a runner-up, this is kind of like the runner-up of Miss America. So Okay. These are like borderline almost gold. So here's what the Quran says. They will be waited on by eternal youths. With cups and pitchers and drink of pure wine flowing stream. They do not get intoxicated and they don't bleed. Okay, but that's a different topic. La yunzifun, the word yanzif in Arabic means bleed. So they don't bleed, but that's not our topic. But what this, I think it was this guy, but it may be the other guy who said this that I thought was very, I've never heard this before. Today was the first time I heard it. Is it says that these boys are going around you. One of them has a, be in Arabic, a quab, a barik, wa kas min ma'in. So there's three different. One of them has a cup, one of them has a pitcher, and the other one has a drink of wine. And so there's one group of these boys who are cups, who handle the cups. There's another group of these boys who handle pitchers. And there's another group of the boys who carry the drink. And so, they, and the ones who carry the are not the same as the one who carry. Like sometimes you go to a restaurant, I guess, and sometimes, there's those who do the drinks that come fill your water. Then there's another one who comes and fills your coffee, and the other one who actually brings the cup, And so these boys, okay, some of them will have cups. They'll be responsible for the cups. And then the other group will be responsible for the pitchers. And then the other ones are responsible, like to go to the river and get the drink. And so from a flowing stream. And then another one, doesn't bleed or whatever, I'm not sure. Oh, and there's also another one who brings you fruit. So you get different fruit too. So anyway, that's one of the runner-up videos. That is one of the runner-up videos, you guys, or thrower-up, throw-up videos. So that's one of the runner-up videos, okay? And now, you guys, the moment you have just been, I know you guys are on the edge of your seats because you're just so longing to see who gets the Golden Pretzel Award, okay? The Golden Pretzel Award this year, you guys, will go to a person. Truthfire is asking questions. The Quran says you're not supposed to ask questions. Truthfire. It says do not ask questions about things that could make you, doubt your iman, your faith. No, these guys don't want to take time off. They don't want to. Didn't you hear? You don't have to pay them. They don't want any money from you. You don't have to give them a break. They never sleep. They never die. They never get old. They stay 12 years old or 11 years old, and for all eternity. And all they do is one of them is responsible, like one is responsible for the plate, and then another one is responsible for the pitcher, and another one's responsible for the fruit. Okay, so all right. So anyway, let's go to the Golden Pretzel Award. Goes this year to whom? To the Billy Graham of Islam, of the Muslim world, Sheikh Sha'arawi. Okay. Now, Sheikh Sha'arawi, you guys, this guy, he's dead. Okay, he's dead. He's dead, but this guy was and is like the number one. He is so famous, so beloved, so highly respected. And he's so highly regarded. And even to this day, people listen. In reality, you could say that Muslims, most of them don't read the Quran. Most of them don't read the Hadith. They don't care, but they do watch TV and they listen to people like this. So this guy is so influential. He's so powerful. Okay, so it's like um, they get about that's correct. Now you see, Houston, and I don't want to correct you, okay? I don't want to correct you and show myself like I'm some like I know everything. But there are some people who say that men will only get 1,000 of these boys. There's some who say that men will only get 1,000 of them. There's others who say you're only going to get 10,000. Okay, but there are some, like you said, who say you're going to get 80,000 of these boys. Now, you guys, how many cups and pitchers and fruits and bananas and peaches and whatever are you going to need to where you need 80,000 of these boys? And if there's any Muslims here, I'd like to ask, in case there's any Muslims here, I'd just like to ask, is there slavery in Jannah? Because these boys are slaves. They don't get paid. They don't even want money, but they are your servants. They're quite often the children of Christians and Jews. And isn't it slavery? It looks to me like there's slavery in Jannah. And then if you want to talk about the women, they're another slaves. They're another group of slaves, and Houston Euler, there's the mathematical mind. You can tell someone who's did good in math. He says each boy one boy per day for 226 long years. So, but you don't have to house them. It's not like you have to have a special house for them. I'm not sure where they live, but according to the sheikh, you don't even have to have a house for them or a spare room or something. So anyway, but for the Golden Pretzel Award, we'll go to Sheikh Sha'rawi this year. Like I said, this guy is humongous. Like I said, he's dead, but he's huge, so highly regarded in the Muslim world. Okay, and this is what he's talking about: the women who are the possessions of the right hand. And so it's Arabic, but I will translate for you. And all the wisdom, all the depth of wisdom.
بقيت مسألة واحدة
There's still one topic.
وهي مسألة المرأة الرقيقة يأخذونها أيضا على الإسلام.
This is about the good woman that they take to Islam.
يقول وملكت أيمانكم.
And the woman that you own, the slave woman, ملكات اليمين, the possession of the right hands, or your slave girl.
ويتجوز 4 واللي ملكت يمينه ده بلا عدد.
He can marry 4 women, and he can have sex slaves without number. There's no limit how many slave women he can have.
بيعتقدوا إن ذلك إذلال للمرأة.
Some people, close-minded, bigoted, Islamophobic jerks, consider this as demeaning to women. Jerks.
نقول له لا.
I say no. This is not demeaning to women, you Islamophobe.
هذا أيضا باب جديد من أبواب تصفية الرق.
This is a new door to do away with slavery.
ليه؟
Why?
لأنها لو ظلت بعيدة عن استمتاع سيدها بها.
Because if this slave woman stays far from her master's pleasuring of himself with her,
جاء عبد فتزوجها أو غيره فتزوجها ما تلده يكون عبدا.
and another slave, a male slave, marries her, and she gives birth to a baby. The baby that will be born to her will be a slave because his father is a slave.
ولكن من سيدها
But if she gets pregnant from her owner, her master,
يكون حرا وهي تصير ولد لا يصح أن تورث ولا أن تباع.
and if her master has sex with her and she gets pregnant, then her son is the son of a free man, and he will then be able to inherit from his father.
يبقى بيصف إذا الرق ولا لا؟
So will this end slavery or not?
فاستغل عملية الاستمتاع.
So he uses the motivation of pleasure, sexual pleasure,
بأن يصفي الرق أيضا.
to end slavery.
ولو بقيت غير مستمتع بها من سيدها.
And if her master did not have sexual pleasure with her,
لكان كل ما تأتي به من النسل يبقى رقيق.
then all the children she has will be slaves.
يبقى بيزود إيه؟ رقعة.
What will that do? It will increase slavery.
هنا بيزود الأحرار.
Here, by having sex with her master, when her master has sex with her, it increases free children.
وعدمها يزود العبيد. وأيضا
And the other way, if she marries a slave man and has children by him, all her children are slaves, and it increases slavery.
فإنه يريد أن يرتفع بإنسانية المرأة.
So this is a way to elevate the value of women and the humanity of women.
وأن يحترم أنوثتها.
And to respect her femininity. Yabaye, 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 yabaye. So much respect. So much respect. It's like okay, if I play it up, this is so much respect. It's so much respect that I wanted to play the song Respect by Aretha Franklin. RESPECT. Just, this is respect. Like, you guys, wow. I'm just blown away by the respect.
حين ترى سيدها.
Thus she sees her master.
وله امرأة أخرى من الحرائر.
He has a free woman who is his wife.
ثم يستمتع هو بها كما يستمتع بالحرة.
And he has sexual pleasure with her like he has sexual pleasure with the free woman.
فهي لا تنقص شيئا عن الحرة فيما.
So she lacks nothing that the free woman has. She's equal to the free woman in regards to sexual pleasure. In regards to sexual pleasure, she is equal to a free woman.
يبقى إذا لما تشوف كده هي متعة للزوج.
Okay, so when you see it this way, it's pleasure. It is pleasure for the husband.
لسيدها زي امرأته ما هي إيه؟
Because it's like his wife.
ما متعة.
Because it's pleasure.
وأيضا يمنعها من أن تتطلع إلى إفساد الغير.
And it prohibits her from looking at the corruption of others.
نعم. تتطلع إلى إفساد.
Okay, so that wellspring of wisdom, this wellspring of wisdom that has just been put out there. You know, for that, he gets, he will get this year's golden pretzel. Okay, so yes, he is the winner of this year's golden pretzel. So there you have it, you guys. That's the Golden Pretzel Award show for this year. And I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something important. I mean, there's just so much wisdom, just well springs of wisdom. It just flows out. Yeah, boy, yeah. Yeah, boy, yeah. So that was our Golden Pretzel Award show for 2025. You're gonna have to wait another year to get another one. And you know what? For next year, I think I'm going to try to get some other people involved as well. I know there's other people who are they get angry with me, if you want to be honest, because they really want to be part of the Golden Pretzel Award show. But this is a very it's there's so much work and effort and concentration and study and deep meditation that's required to come up with these pretzel for the proper distribution of these pretzels. And so, just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. All right, you guys. Well, do we have any Muslims here? If we have any Muslims who would like to come up and defend Sheikh Sha'rawi, if we have anybody who would like to come on, Muslims, here's the link. If you want to come on and defend Sheikh Sha'rawi. Um, to be honest, I've heard about her, but I've not seen anything. I've seen Christian Prince talk about her, about Lily J, but I haven't watched. Just bores me to tears. I'm not at all interested. I'm sorry, Jack Ray. I am feeling nauseated to be honest. I really am. And you know what I take for nausea, Jack Ray? You might want to consider this is Pepto-Bismol. I just encourage you guys, if to get some Pepto-Bismol after this. Maybe also take a shower. And so I know. Yes. All right, you guys. Well, if there's no Muslims, we're going to come up, and then I think maybe we'll go ahead and end it. So this was the 2025 Golden Pretzel Award Show. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So, before you go, let's look at, there was some news as well I wanted to show you guys. This is very sad. This is very sad. This is, what's going to happen to her when they tell her, oops, about that beautiful blonde hair of yours? You got to cover it, and I don't know how she's going to react to this. But anyway, here is some bad news. Hate strikes D.C., Washington, D.C. 2 Israeli embassy staffers about to be engaged were gunned down by a suspect who yelled, "Free, free Palestine," near D.C.'s Capitol Jewish Museum. So, yeah, it was very sad. 2 Israeli embassy staffers who were about to be engaged were gunned down outside an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. Wednesday night by a suspect who shouted, "Free, free Palestine," as he was taken into custody. Deadly gunfire erupted outside the museum about 5 miles from the embassy as the couple was leaving the event shortly after 9 p.m. The suspect was identified as 31-year-old Chicago resident Elias Rodriguez. He squeezed the trigger and entered the museum, where he was apprehended. The alleged gunman shouted, "Free, free Palestine," as he was being arrested. Okay, the suspect was apprehended by the event security, was seen pacing back and forth outside the museum leading up to the shooting. He allegedly flashed a handgun in front of a group of 4 people before opening fire, she added. The Israeli embassy spokesperson said to ABC News that the 2 staffers were shot at close range. The slain boyfriend planned to propose to his girlfriend next week, Israel's ambassador to the U.S. That's probably the name of the museum. The young man bought the ring this week and planned on popping the question in Jerusalem, he said. The couple has not been identified. I will say this, we are a resilient people, Leiter said. The people of Israel are resilient people. The United States are resilient people. We will confront this moral depravity without fear and with determination, and now we'll turn to taking care of the families of these 2 victims. The hate-filled shooting led to chorus of outrage and condolences. I'll start by sending our condolences to the loved ones of the victims who were senselessly a victim of these crimes. I want to provide my prayers and condolences to the museum staff and the guests who also gathering in fellowship. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser said at the press briefing, "We will not tolerate acts of terrorism, and we are going to stand together as a community in the coming days and weeks to send a clear message that we will not tolerate anti-Semitism." Israeli ambassador to the UN called the shooting a depraved act of anti-Semitic terrorism. Harming diplomats and the Jewish community is crossing a red line, he said on X. We are confident the U.S. authorities will take some strong action against those responsible for this criminal act. Israel will continue to act resolutely to protect its citizens and representatives everywhere in the world. Okay, so yeah. President Trump denounced the shooting on Truth Social. These horrible D.C. killings, based obviously on anti-Semitism, must end now. Hatred and radicalism has no place in the USA. Condolences to the families and victims. So sad such things as this can happen. God bless you all, he wrote. Okay. All right, you guys. So yeah, that's really sad here in the U.S. So okay, guys. Well, thank you for being with us, and let me just look real quick, make sure there's nothing new on the Muhammad hijab front.
You know I got it. All I'm asking is for
enough of that. Anyway, when he was saying how much that respect for women in that operation that he was talking about, I just felt I wanted to play a little bit of that. So anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out. And if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. Sorry about that, Truth Defender. I just wanted our respect part. So, all right. You guys have a wonderful night, and hope to see you guys tomorrow. So.
If you have ever wondered why dull apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth, this happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to repeat that.
That the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.